Hey, everybody. Here we are. It's Lady Wolverton. Jen, please just call me Jen. Jennifer. Jen is a lot shorter to type. We've got Fiora Hexa here, Fire Witch, right out of Germany. Amen to that, right? We've got the lovely LMR. And we've got somebody new. We've got somebody new for today. We've got Mackenzie Burns with us, who is just a House Stark lover and very much into this political John theory. That is what we're discussing here today. We're discussing a video Fiora Hexa put out. Dare I say that this video is, according to my YouTube on the TV, is it like an hour and 8 minutes long? Am I correct on this?
Yeah, I think so, Jen.
I mean, guys, who makes videos? Who does live stream? I mean, come on. And it's very well edited. I love her work. And while I don't think she has the number of subs that she deserves, she gets hella views. She gets a lot of views. She's kind of a big deal. Okay, so let's get her 102 subs, you guys, and she'll be at 1,000. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that? 2 giveaways today. No shit. We're talking political John, so why wouldn't we give away a Stargarian t-shirt?
Oh.
I mean, what else makes sense? Extra large, people. Never worn. I promise. I swear I wouldn't do you like that.
My shirt?
Oh.
No, Russell.
That's the mug.
That's that one you want. Russell bought me a Culture Fly box at the con, and the shirt that came in it, I don't love it. I wanted to give it away, but Russell wants it. I've created a monster. Every time I turn around, he's got on a Watchers on the Wall shirt, a White Walker, the Nike. Yes, you do. Now hush. You can make an appearance later. We're also going to be giving away a $20 Amazon gift card. I wanted to give away either like a Sansa or a John Pop. Shit, if you got that Sansa Pop, you're sitting pretty. Because when I looked at it last night on Amazon, it was worth $100. So, yeah. So we're not going to do that. We're going to give away a $20 Amazon gift certificate, which I can also do without paying $1 million in shipping to Australia, which I do frequently because I send Marie Hill shit often. So I know all about international shipping and customs. And the shirt, which I promise is new, never worn, extra large, Stargarian. It's not HBO or anything like that. It's an independent person who created that shirt, which are some of the best shirts. I have an Arya shirt I ordered back in season 1 that has Valor Morghulis. That is just fan art. It's one of my favorite shirts. I threw Wolverton in it at the con, and I threw him in that Arya Stark shirt, put him in that shirt, which let him loose at the con. And I mean, I think he had a better time than me. All right, so let's introduce our guest first, of course. So, Fiora Hexa, please introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from. Plug your stuff, your blog, even everything.
Hi, Feuer Hexe from Germany. Thanks very much again for having me. I'm doing mostly on my channel reaction videos, and I did my second theory video now about a certain, not quite uncontroversial Jon Snow theory. And thank you so very much. I'm so very happy. I really missed you guys and talking to you, and I'm so happy that we have a new guest this time. Hi, Kenzie.
Hi. So,
Kenzie, you're next.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenzie.
Oh, I am Mackenzie, as most of you guys know in the chat, or Mackenzie or whatever, from Jen's chat or LMR's chat, and I found you guys and I was like, okay, these are people that I can actually like tolerate, who are not just like bullshitting you every single time or repeating the same stories and all of that other stuff. So yeah, and I don't really have a channel per se, but this may get me to start doing one. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys, before Lamar introduced herself, let me say this. if you think you want to do something like this, you can. I mean, there's people you'll reach out to and they'll never return your message, sure. But there are other people, like the people in this chat, who, if you put your hand out to mine, I will take it. Okay? And, you know, that's it. Elamar, tell us about yourself and your lovely book that we're going to be discussing in our next stream when we're done with this. This is probably going to go 3 parts.
Yeah. So you probably know where you can find me, my channel, Living My Rhapsody. And by the way, I apologize for my voice. Still not over the flu. I'm still battling with it, fever and all that lovely stuff. So, but almost there. Sorry, I think I'm pressing different buttons right now. I'm kind of in the chat. So you know where to find me, Living My Rhapsody, and then Living Reviews for other stuff. We're doing Westworld with Johnny Be Crazy, who's in the chat. Hi, Johnny. We're going to do it on Monday. What else? I have a couple of streams coming up with different creators, so it's going to be fun collaborating with different creators. So it's going to be lots and lots of fun. And of course, a book club with Jen. And the lovely ladies from the book club on Thursdays at 8 Central. Oh, and my book, I forgot. Yeah. Oh, and I have a book. So we're going to be doing that at one of the channels, at one of the Sundays on Jen's channel. So she's nice enough to have me, so we can chat about that. So whoever's into that kind of stuff, they're more than welcome to join us and kind of try to make me blush a little. So thank you, Jen.
Yeah, it's a good book. I mean, of course, I'm a big reader, but it's a good book. It's a good read, not a hard read. Very good. I would recommend it. I would. And sci-fi is really not my genre. Fantasy is not really my genre, but I love history, and that's how I got into the Game of Thrones, as most people know. Want to go into the chat? Want to just say hey to Bubba Husky, Eduardo, BBM, Johnny Be Crazy. Okay, BBM has a great channel. Hit his icon, sub. Johnny Be Crazy just started out and is already very good. I mean, he's going to be one of the greats. Sub to him. Bubba Husky's probably fixing to start a blog on Amino. We've got Samid in the chat. Hey, I'm glad you're here. And did I say hey to Eduardo? Eduardo, happy Father's Day. LMR. Y'all, I've checked out like 1,300 items at the Dollar Tree today, okay? Oh, my God. And go figure, the Father's Day balloon code is 666. I am not making that up.
Oh, my gosh.
I know.
Part of that.
Weird.
Right. Oh, how do you pronounce this in the chat? They're saying hello to you specifically.
To me?
Uh-huh.
I'm in the chat right now. Who's saying to me? Let me see. Who's saying it? I'm going to find it.
They have the cutest little icon. I think it's... Hold on.
Oh, yeah, that's way up there.
Gazuri? Something AR Gazuri?
Okay, I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it and I'm going to say, I just need to find it. If you know who said it, I'm going to find it. Unless they're still there, just tell me.
In a chat before, to my recollection, so that's
okay.
It's way up in the chat. Yeah.
Wanted to make sure we said hey. All right, so let's get right into this. Fiora Hexa has a video out that she calls it's called Politician on a Mission. And she's speaking of Jon Snow, Jon Targaryen, however you want to look at it, Jon Stargaryen. And what she's saying is that Jon is not necessarily in love with Dany. Yeah, he hit it. You know, he might very well quit it, is what she says. And we've got questions for her. We want explanations. I don't agree or disagree. At this point, I'm just not sure anymore. Back in season 5, I was on a stream with somebody, and I know for a fact 2 of the people that I was on the stream with, I said this exact thing to them. And this is back in the season when Sam stole the sword, Heartsbane. I said I saw it going where Johnny and Daenerys were going to hook up, and you know, because I used to read a lot of historical romance, I'll admit it. And everybody got so mad at me Like, no, that'll ruin it. That's bullshit. And so, since I figured it out, and I don't, I'm not a big theory person like this. Like I listen to LML or Gray Area or some other people, Aziz sometimes, Preston Jacobs, and I'm like, what the fuck? I got to read the entire book again. I like totally didn't get that. I always felt like I got R plus L equals J. And as far as the show goes, I thought maybe this is where they were going with that, because I thought they have to merge. They have to merge, So my thing is, I can't be right about anything. I mean, that just wouldn't sit with history. So that makes me question that. Also, is that not just too happy? Is that not just kind of a fairy tale ending? Even if he was to end up with Sansa, is that not just too happy? So, but basically, in layman's terms, what she states in her video, and she gives a lot of evidence to it, all kinds of evidence, show evidence, foreshadowing, book evidence, foreshadowing, quotes, and even from the actors in interviews. For instance, Jon Snow, Kit Harington saying that Jon starts to listen to Sansa a little bit. He's trying to do better than his father and his brother. And so her contention is he's playing Danny straight up. Pure Hexa.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
Basically, I think I hear myself around. Yeah. Can you turn off?
I'm going to mute.
Sound. Thank you. Basically, this theory comes down to this, that Jon, in Jon's entire season 7 arc, it's not just about him playing someone. It's about Jon's entire season 7 story arc is about him serving the North and coming into his own as responsible leader with political skills. He's experiencing a very great character development based on everything he experienced so far, and his entire season 7 storyline is kind of a continuation of this, with the addition of very smart political skills. He's pretty savvy and pretty very, very responsible, and his priority is serving the North and defeating the White Walkers. And it's kind of like we see the extremes that he goes to in order to achieve this goal. And I think that's the whole point of this story arc. We see what he's willing to do, what he has to do, what he has to do in order to achieve what he's been fighting for so long. And it results in him manipulating someone for the greater good, so to say, because there's no other way to handle this person. There's no reasonable level for him, so he starts his manipulation tactics. And it's very, very glorious and beautiful to watch.
All right. So, and I'm not, we talked about things we're going to talk about before, so I'm not going here, but, I mean, it definitely is out of Jon's character to want to just get laid. I mean, I know him and Ygritte hooked up or whatever, but we know how he feels about having bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and this is really my main issue. I really wanted to show, this theory makes tons of sense. And I wanted to show that Jon did not give the North away to get laid. He's a very responsible leader. He's a smart politician, and he is not stupid. He knows what he's doing, and have faith, guys. This is way, way more logical than anything they're trying to sell us.
Nice.
Kenzie, what are your thoughts about it? I'm actually looking forward to hearing from you. Please go.
Well, I kind of made a bunch of notes regarding it, and basically the biggest one is that Jon, throughout the entire of season 7, basically goes on a leadership journey. He basically goes from being a leader of 50 men, really, in the Night's Watch, to becoming a leader of 10, 100,000 men in the split second of a couple months. He was used to being the leader of himself and maybe a few other people, to 50 men to now this massive army. So he has to like learn like along the way. And when he was in the Night's Watch, he only had Maester Aemon and Jeor Mormont, but now he has kind of been almost like lost in a sense. So he has like Davos, but Davos doesn't really understand the North. And then he has Sansa, so he kind of has to have balance off this sort of like balance off of her, but not like overstepping what she knows and not like being like so naive kind of thing. So yeah, and also kind of learning from himself as well.
And I think those are very good points as well. But I want to say, no, he's been a leader before the 50 men. He was leading his recruitment crew that he came up with out in the yard when he told them, don't fuck with Sam anymore, and threatened O'Rast with Ghost. I would say he's been a leader even without knowing it right from the start, because he has always gone his own way and done what's right. And that's what Theon was talking about this past season when he said, not you, you always know. You always know what's right.
Yeah, I meant like a terms of like a bigger amount of group, not besides like 5 or 6 people, but like
no, I do know what you mean. I just wanted to say I think Jon is just straight. He's a leader. You know, there's leaders and there's followers. He's a leader, 100%.
Yeah, because
so
you know, Jon.
Like here.
Yeah. Yeah, Jon always had this leadership potential, but I think in what's different about season 7 is that this is the first time he's really he went south. He has to deal with southern politics and with southern politicians. He has to navigate his way through an unknown territory because, you know, the south is not really his territory, especially King's Landing. He's never been there before. And he has, for the first time, he has to really, navigate his way through a potentially difficult environment and show that he has learned and that he came into his own and that he manages to survive and to be a responsible leader by showing really, really smart skills that are more beneath the surface. And it's really, I think that's a big the big difference this year. He's really more of a real politician this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely agreed. He listened to the advice, and I think somebody said it in the chat. I lost my place here. I think Johnny said that he listened to Sansa from last season, so he is being more I call it flexible, more adaptable now compared to, like you say, Brita, in your video, to Ned and to Rob, where they were not able to do anything. One was completely overtaken by honor, the other one was completely overtaken by his heart. And Jon is hopefully able to see past honor and fake the heart to get what he needs for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, and he is still okay. So a lot of people always go to, but Ned did lie about some things. I mean, because technically, if we're going to get super technical, like it seems like people like to get with Ned, like very black and white with him, but that's not really true. Omitting the truth is also lying in a technical sense, or at least that's what I was taught.
Yeah, you know, we have these warnings, like at the beginning, you know, he gets specifically told to be smarter than Rob and Ned, and then afterwards he gets thrown into situations that exactly mirror or are similar to situations that Ned and Rob were facing, and we know how that ended. And I think if they were really serious with everything they were showing in season 7, and Jon is truly just a stupid idiot who does repeat, then he should please also pay the same price and die again a horrible death. Because I don't, yeah, it's really stupid because, you know, what's the point really if they are just showing him make same mistakes again, but without any consequences because he's Jon Snow and he's got plot armor. So, yeah.
Well, let's go to the chat for a minute because I think BBM brings up a great point. BBM said he thinks it would have been much smarter for him to go there and seek a marriage alliance. And we know, at least TV show, that that's also where Tyrion, and if you believe her breaking up with Dario, you know, that's the excuse she gave. I don't necessarily think she wanted to get married. I just thought that was a convenient excuse, but I don't think she had it ruled out. It would have been smart to go ahead and marry her.
Yep.
Yeah, but he can't really. But
you know,
he can't really
for him.
Yeah, but he can't really marry her because he's king in the north and she's a southern ruler. The king in the north cannot marry a southern ruler, least of all a Targaryen. And also she said,
I don't understand why not.
Because
separatism,
the kind of alliance that would want.
Because the north hates southern rulers and the Targaryens, and
well, not the whole north. I mean, you know, basically the biggest army right now in Winterfell is the Vale. And we know that the Royces go to tournaments in King's Landing. We know that Jon Arryn was handed the king for years. They feel slighted at his death or whatnot. I mean, it depends on who I think you're asking in the north. I mean, yeah, there's some of that. We hate Southerners.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
I mean, very specifically, I think is more to do with her being a Targaryen. But if the facts that we as viewers know would come out, I mean, that would really change everything.
Yeah, and I was really wondering about this as well, because as you said, at the end of season 6, Daenerys said that she would make a marriage alliance probably. And then in season 7, it was never brought up again, really, except by Littlefinger. And Daenerys also said to Tyrion, Jon Snow is too little for me. So, yeah.
Well, you know,
because he's
take the height of your husband. Generally, it's more about
she was
standing and
she was talking about his status as king in the north, because the king in the north doesn't seem to be that significant.
The two kingdoms. Would it not be like Isabel and Ferdinand marrying? And then we would combine what was it, Castile and whatever. That's what they did. They were the most powerful rulers, you know, of their time, which would have been around the same time of Henry Tudor and Elizabeth York. So I don't know. And, you know, actually it would join the two and then put them against their common enemy. So I got to say, BBM brings up an extremely, extremely valid point.
But also, if technically, if they would have that alliance right now, I see how north and south, like when you have two different kingdoms, after, let's say, a war, instead of killing everybody, you make an alliance where people marry from opposite houses to connect into one big, I guess, you know, ruling over everything. But if actually they have done that, that would be a big, or if they actually would do it next season, right? If they're planning on doing it, that would be a big mess. I mean, if Jon is actually discovered to be a Targaryen, then you have two Targaryens ruling over the stuff. But, you know, he needs to, like you said, Brita, he needs to think politically and think short term for now to get what he wants. And he needs not just what he wants, but what the people need. What to get the power, to get the troops, to get the dragons. He needs to be on her good side. So completely understandable.
I think the North would have more problem with the incest bit of it than with anything else. Now, we do know that there was Stark cousins that were married. Is that not correct?
I think so, yeah, Jen. Or at least
Lyanna, as a matter of fact.
There was Donald Stark and then a Sansa Stark that were married, and they were.
That's right. Okay, not a Lyanna, Sansa. Yeah. So we know that we had.
Uncle, so.
That's as close as they've got. with inbreeding over there on the Stark side is it first cousins?
First cousins, and then a very long
Which
time
was
ago,
very
I think
common,
was
which would be
Jon.
have been very common.
And then there was one where it was like an uncle and a niece, I believe, like a
Okay,
while
we
ago.
didn't see, nobody batted an eye when Lysaron is like telling Sansa. Sansa didn't even bat an eye at the fact that he was her cousin. She just didn't want to marry Robin Arryn.
I don't think anybody really wants to, so.
Okay, so to bring us back on track, though, let's talk about this. You mentioned, and one of the things you bring up is people who are in love with Dany, and we go through the list. And let's talk about each of these, if you will. Drogo, Jorah, Dario, and Jon Snow. Drogo, was he in love? Was he in love with Daenerys? Everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
Like he wanted to go across the Great Grass Sea for her and like take
Yeah.
the Iron Throne for her. So
Okay, we'll move on then. Jorah.
Oh, yeah. Poor guy. Yes, Jorah. If we deny his love like that, the poor actor is going to have, like, hives all over him right now. So, yeah, even the actor will feel it right now.
Jorah did more for her than any other man in this entire story, and she's completely ignoring him all the time. It's such a, I know it's a little creepy because he's so much older than her, but yeah.
All right, well, let's go to this one because look, you guys, I reviewed the list already, of course, and thought about it. And when we get to Dario, I don't really think that he was in love with Daenerys. I think he was in love with the idea of the fact that he was dating a queen or screwing a queen or, however you want to say it. And the position and power that maybe gave him a bit or conquest, however, whatever he got out of it. I think he was in love maybe with the idea of it much more than her for her.
That's fair. But then also Dario kind of looks like Jon, so that's kind of funny for her in the end.
Yeah, I don't. It's so difficult because I do think that Dario really. I do think that he was kind of I think he did love her in a way, maybe a certain idea of her, but she definitely wasn't in love with him. She was just using him for her personal pleasure, and but it's pretty strange because Dario would totally be her type completely because he's like Drogo, the rough asshole type who kills for her. She really loves that if people kill for her. And Jon is the complete opposite of this, which makes it even more unlikely that she really fancies Jon that way.
And I was surprised why she well, I guess you can't choose who you love or who you fall in love with. He was, according to her, he was handsome and he had everything going for him, but she still didn't love him. She said so herself. So that was interesting. In a way, he was a man of her dreams, I think, like you said. All the qualities she was looking for. So I wonder, what is she actually looking for?
But Dario was the only one who was really. He told her the truth a few times. Really, he told her that you're a conqueror, Daenerys Stormborn, and then he told her, I hope you will conquer that Iron Throne and that it will give you happiness, which we know will not happen. So I think he was not afraid to state his opinion and to tell her what he's really thinking, and I think that was very important. And because I completely agreed with him with a lot of stuff that he said to her, and he was also very worried when she was giving her war speech to the Dothraki. he was pretty concerned in that moment.
There's a comment here from Baba Husky. He says, literally, female characters always get the feels first, then give up. The males, the exact opposite.
Yep. Kind of seems how it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a point to kind of bring up.
Mhm.
Okay.
When Tyrion writes the letter to come to Dragonstone and bend the knee, Jon obviously resists and doesn't bend the knee on their very first meeting. And then when Jon leaves the castle and is on the mountaintop, and Tyrion comes to him and is like telling Jon basically like, this is what Daenerys did, she does it for the good of the people, and then he says him, like Jon and her going north on the first meeting is unfair and unrealistic. It's kind of almost like a double standard. It's like you want your queen to have the king in the north bend to you, but on the first meeting, but she won't go on the first meeting to meet with Tyrion, or like after you meet like for the first time and tell him about the ice zombies or whatever you want to say. It's kind of just like you're kind of kind of saying, oh, one person can get away with it, but you can't. Kind of what?
Yeah, exactly. And it also Tyrion left that point out of his letter. He didn't mention in his letter that Daenerys expected Jon to bend the knee. And I really thought that this would have some consequences, but Jon never brought it up and Tyrion never brought it up again. But I think it's a very important issue that Tyrion left out of his message on purpose, because otherwise Jon maybe wouldn't have come. Yeah, it's a very good point. I was really thinking about this as well.
Okay, so our final person on the list, of course, is Jon Snow. And let's not talk about what could happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about right now in this moment. Is Daenerys in love with Jon Snow?
No.
I think she's falling in love with him.
Well, I think
she's,
like
you know, I think we talked about this before. I said that I don't understand why she's so into him, because she doesn't know anything about him. He never opened himself up to her. I don't think she's in love really. I think she's in love with a certain image that she got of him, because she sees herself in him because he's this hero savior guy, and she wants to be seen as the savior who saves everyone. And I think she's basically just into a certain image that she got of him.
I just thought of this. It's like she gets everything kind of that she has with Dario, but Jon has actually some sort of hold in Westeros. So like, even though he's technically a bastard, he has a legitimate father and he has all of these other things. So she kind of gets everything that she got with Dario, but with someone who actually has a hold on the place that she wants to conquer or rule. So maybe. I don't know.
So a question for you, ladies. From all the looks that she's getting, because not getting, giving Jon, so she's kind of she seems at least a little bit fascinated, because he's the first man that is not, giving her that look. She's used to men who want to adore her and treat her like some goddess. And he's the first guy who just kind of says, hey, I'm just here for the glass, lady. Just point me to the cave and go on your merry way and, do your thing somewhere else. So she must be like, oh my gosh, like, ooh, he doesn't want me. What's this mystery guy about? Why doesn't he like me? Let me go into that a little bit. What do you think?
Like they're in that cave. They were always here. Hey, but can I get some of that dragon glass?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's like
the arm and be like, let's go.
Yeah. So he that's how I see it. I mean, look at all the men around her. I mean, who wouldn't want to be with her over there? Seriously, she's gorgeous. I mean, let's just say this: whoever. Some people say, "Oh, this lady's gorgeous." They're all gorgeous. They're supposed to be gorgeous. We're supposed to be in love with her. everybody, even those who are, even women are supposed to be looking at them as gorgeous. So in general, that's the perspective, I think, to fall in love with them. So there is Jon, who kind of says, "Hey, lady, I'm just here. It's business." So I see her being shocked. Everybody always loved her, adored her.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
you
it's
may
like,
be queen, but I don't like you.
yeah,
like
it's like,
it's just it's not personal. I'm just here for my stuff. Just
it's
move
like,
away 3 feet.
it's like the first time that Daenerys experiences that
Rejection.
she is not the center of the universe for once, and that there are maybe things that are more important than her and more important than her getting worshipped. And I think this is really the first time that she gets brought a little more down to earth. And yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
I mean,
first time for her.
she's not in Kansas anymore at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
she was. It's always like, Danny, and she's always right there. Like she's the center of everything. She's the queen. She's the winner. So now she's in the South. Yeah.
Right,
So,
you're now, girl. Like,
sorry.
I'm like, it's reminding me. There's this old electronic dance music song. It's like, you in America now. You in America. She's in Westeros now. You know what I'm saying? There's
no way.
Lots of queens around, just as it happens. At the moment, there's, it wouldn't be uncommon to meet a queen.
Yeah.
And also, she's not like technically the most standout beautiful person.
No, not anymore at that point. Yeah. Over there, she's a rare beauty over there, where she was this blonde. Everybody where she was from, I guess, not from, but where she grew up, had dark hair, probably brown eyes, darker skin, and she's the only one with gorgeous blonde hair, fair skin, with purple eyes. So she always felt special, and rightfully so.
Daenerys, I'm sorry, Elmar. I think of Daenerys personally. This is me. And I don't love red hair. I really don't. My hair pool's red. Yeah. I toned the.
But I know from a perspective, I personally, I had all kinds of hair, color hair, like all kinds. Like there's everything, even purple. I had purple. No, I didn't have green. Yeah, so not all color. But yeah, I see the difference in how I perceive myself and how others perceive me when I change my hair color. And I think the most fun one was blonde and red.
Definitely.
So
I've had red hair before as well for a really long time. And that's a time in my life that I just try to block out. So I don't want nothing to do with no red hair. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But going to this, I think Daenerys is striking. Okay. And there's a difference between being beautiful and being striking and being attractive. Some women, just because you're the prettiest, though, that don't mean you pull the most guys. I mean, it really don't. That's what I'm saying. A very striking woman who is very, personality. You can be attractive, but not be the prettiest girl in the room, but be more interesting than the prettiest girl in the room. But so what I'm saying basically with that is I do consider Sansa to be more attractive than Daenerys. So as I've always thought she was going to be the younger, more beautiful queen. I mean,
she is. She is
throwing that out there. That's what I think. I've always thought that.
It's all a matter. It's all a matter of your taste, and beauty is always in the eye of the beholder. I think Daenerys is really, really very beautiful, but that's not enough.
Well, I think Marjorie Tyrell summed it up best for us. Some people like pretty girls, some boys like boy. Marjorie Tyrell broke it down.
Yeah. So again, speaking of different beauties over there, I think difference between Sansa and Daenerys is not just obviously, like you said, hair color. They represent completely different, first of all, hair color types, but then also characters. So it's hard to compare. It's not like you put a red wig on Dany, and that actress is gorgeous in dark hair as well. She's a beauty, any color hair. So I think it's just the mix of how they look and their characters. That's how we perceive them. They're completely different. Yeah.
I have a question about Dany's hair, though, going into season 7/season 8, or mostly after most of the events of season 7, which is, in Dothraki tradition, they cut off their braids when they're defeated. Shouldn't she technically have cut off her braids when she lost her baby? Or Viserion?
She might have actually. We don't see the back of her head, do we? Or do we ever look at her after that?
Don't her hair burn off?
Not
But
all
in
of
the
it,
show,
right?
I meant, like, they wouldn't...
Yeah.
Like, they've mentioned it in the show when they're defeated, they cut their braids off.
Yeah.
Right. I know what you're saying, but in the book, this is going book, I believe her hair burns off.
Yeah, because her hair is not fireproof.
Well, I just think probably you can chalk that up to they didn't want her to be bald on the show for, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
there wouldn't be
wigs, I guess. So
yeah.
Well, yeah.
There's this meme somewhere, right? Or somebody tweeted it out. Like they're showing her progression. They're showing the back of her head. How she gets those extra braids season for season. The more victories she has, the more braids she has. So technically now, after that loss that she suffered,
I saw that, and it was like, yeah. Well, you guys, what do you think about this? So, one of the first things you talk about are most everybody that men that Daenerys get involved with, you know. She loved Drogo. I believe she loved Drogo. I believe she loves Jorah in a 100% friend zone way. Like,
yeah,
she
the
loved
father
her
figure
friend,
kind of
definitely.
yeah.
And Dario, no, she was just messing with him. She's through with him. But Jon, I think she at the very least has a fondness for him already. But, you know, we were talking about one of the big examples you make is the things Jon sleeping with her and whatnot, which we've already covered, is out of character for him. What do you think Jon's going to think about, well, does he already knows about her burning the Tarleys, right? Like,
No.
Or he doesn't know?
No, she
Okay,
didn't admit that.
Go
She
down
just said,
because that's exactly, as you point out in your video, something that he told her not to do. And even Tyrion and Varys are shook up about that. I mean, we see Varys have a drink the entire seasons, all these seasons. He's talking about he's a teetotaler and shit. You know what I mean? And then we see him take a drink. So let's talk about that. What do you guys think is going to happen because that's also what we're talking about. Sansa is capable of being hardcore, but I don't think that she would have handled it that way. And that's also not only the difference in their opinion. Sansa and Jon are just better suited, I think. But
yeah, you know, the Tarly issue, that's exactly what's going to be play a huger role next season in her, I would call it downfall, really, because they pushed that into season 8 for a reason. She could have burned just anyone. She could have burned anyone on that field, but they chose to make it the Tarlys, the father and brother of Sam, who is at Winterfell at the moment, and Sam is Jon's best friend. And Sam also healed Jorah from Grayscale. And I think that this will have major consequences in a negative way. And I think I still stand by my opinion. I think that was not justified. It was a horrible act. And Daenerys has to finally pay for something that she has done. You know, she has never faced any negative consequences for anything she's done so far. And I think this will be the first time, yet another waking up moment for her in Westeros, that she can't just do whatever she wants just because people refuse to bend the knee and just because she's Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
Who thinks that is a mistake that could possibly come back and bite her in the ass? Because I don't know in the show, but definitely in the books, in Feast, Sam becomes really resentful of Jon. You know, he's helped Jon to get on the Night's Watch by basically rigging the election. And you know, he's traded the babies because he's worried about Monster and Melisandre trying to say that he has king's blood or whatever. I don't think this is going to happen in the show, but it could, I guess. Do you guys see any fallout between Jon and Sam? I really don't in the show, not with the way Sam came to Winterfell.
If Jon defends Daenerys, that will be like the breaking point, I think, for Sam, like in terms of him being like, I didn't know she did it. She didn't tell me she did it. Like, how is he gonna like find out unless Bran says that she did it? Kind of thing.
And she may not have burned Jon, but this is exactly what Sansa warned about as well. Because of Aerys burning people. He used to burn people. I think that's what makes it so bad, is because it does look like she's following in her father's footsteps. To any native, it was that way.
Yeah, it was exactly the same, a deliberate parallel to Rickon and Rickard.
A father and a son.
No, not Rickon. Rickard and
Brandon.
Brandon. Yeah, exactly. That was a direct parallel to that one.
You know, at first, and I think in the stream that we had last week with Marie, we were talking a little bit about that death sentence that she gave out. So I kind of changed my mind on it. Dany, they had a choice to either be enslaved or not enslaved. I shouldn't say that. What do you call it? Basically, go into prison. They're held captive versus joining her or dying or whatever it was. They had choices and they decided death. That was their choice. She gave them the choice. It would be weird, the person who wants to break the chains is putting people in chains. So I kind of get it. And then, but I was against her burning them because I thought of it as worse death than, let's say, beheading. But then Marie, from her channel, Marie mentioned that, and a couple of people said that she's right too, that if you behead somebody, they actually feel it for like 2 minutes. Yep. So it's not a quick death. You basically, you feel it all this time and you're freaked out and you're scared. So after that, I'm thinking if you burn somebody, either their heart will give out first from pain or from fear, or they're, within a couple of seconds, if it's hot enough, the fire is hot enough, it's going to burn the nerve ending so you can't feel anything anymore after a few seconds of pain. So maybe that is a better death than beheading, because that is just scary, looking at yourself, realizing what's going on. So I'm kind of on the border with that right now. I wouldn't want to die by beheading. Let's just say it this way. I don't know. I'm afraid of dragons too, but probably my heart would give out if I would see one. So that's just my opinion. She didn't want to put them in chains, and they didn't want to join her. What other choice did she have? But that's not going to go well with Jon. I don't think he's going to be ticked.
I think they were offered to join the Wall, which seems fair, and really made sense, especially with them knowing how dangerous the Wall actually is at this point in time.
Yeah, and even
to join her or die
at that point. Yeah, let me say at that point in time.
Because I don't think it's a matter of whether she beheads them or whether she burns them. Bend the knee or die is not a choice. And even Ned Stark back then was, he had the option to go. He was supposed to be sent to the Wall, right? And they could have done the same with the Tarlys,
Yeah, but they turned it down. I think that was their choice, and they turned it down. So,
No, it was either bend the knee or die. It wasn't bend the knee or go to the Wall.
Oh, okay. Tyrion had made the suggestion, and she turned that down. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay. He took her to the side, on the side, and he said, and she said no, she would not do that.
Like, she didn't want to give them multiple choices, kind of thing.
And that's Tyrion. That's the drastic part of it that I didn't like.
Her choice. I do understand her choice, but still, I just think it was a bad move on her part. Definitely not going to ingratiate herself with any of the lords she's trying to win over. I guess it's my point.
Also, the big difference is that Daenerys clearly enjoys what she's doing. She enjoys burning people. She didn't have any regrets. She clearly, every time she burns someone, she's got this really creepy expression that clearly shows that she really loves this. And I think that's really the
Yeah, there's a question.
Yeah.
There's actually a question here about that, like you were saying, Brita, right now. Johnny B. Crazy asks, so do you think, ladies, that Johnny's arc will be from starting innocent to becoming a villain? And just a hint to anybody in the chat, I'm trying to watch it. If you want me to ask the ladies here any of your questions for the ladies to answer, just kind of write my name, either LMR or Living My Rhapsody. It's going to pop up in red. I'm going to see it just in case if you want the ladies to answer anything. But go ahead, guys. So what do you think, Danny, innocent to villain, maybe to innocent again? What do you think?
I think so. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't call her a villain. I don't think she will be a villain because a villain is way too black. She's not a villain, but she's going to be an antagonist. I think she's already an antagonist. I think she's an antagonist to Westeros, and it started in season 7. And she won't go completely evil, but I think her story is the classic from innocent to corrupted by power, really. And but she's also very, very self-destructive. And I think her arc is very tragic, but super, super interesting. And if they go through with it next season and make her the final antagonist, then I'm so rooting for it.
It wouldn't have been so bad if she would have just done the father. And then because I can understand, and then I know Tyrion was against it, but he did defend it, and that is his job as her hand. But he had a valid point too, she gave them a choice. They had taken up arms against her. And then Johnny Be Crazy in the chat pointed out, thank you, Johnny. It's so easy to get mixed up when your book, show, everything else. Jeez. But he pointed out what was said was, you could not send me to the wall because you're not my queen, which I think really rubbed her the wrong way too. Not only like you talk in your video about how Jon takes on cues from other people around him, Jorah, the kind of language he takes on with her, like she likes being referred to as my queen. She likes that deference. And they didn't give her any, Randall Charlie didn't give her any of that. None whatever. And I think that kind of, if you will, it gave her the red ass. So and I also want to say this though, Jon is very much inclined to mercy. And if what she's done up to date shows anything, she's kind of going away from that. She's not really very merciful. I mean, you could ask Master Krasnus if he wasn't ashes drifting around somewhere in where was that? Where he burnt those people up at Yunkai? No, wherever she bought, when she bought the Unsullied. And that is one of my favorite episodes of that season.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't see mercy in Jon, in Daenerys, the way that we see it in Jon. And also I think that's another difference in their character.
Yeah, and also especially between her and Sansa, because I think David Benioff said it in the audio commentaries for season 7, the last episode, when Sansa is executing Littlefinger, that Sansa, you can see a tear in her eye, and he said that it's a very great contrast to Daenerys when she executes people. She doesn't show any emotions. She's completely cold, and when Sansa executes people, she shows compassion. And those are David Benioff's words. They're not my words. Even he said it.
That's another.
Yeah, I just read a comment about it here. So I don't know if you read it from a comment, but yeah, that was exactly what the comment said. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that I didn't hear the beginning of it. I had some sound issues, but Jasmine Liz actually says that here too. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
But Mackenzie, what do you think about the Daenerys from innocent sweet girl to antagonist / villain?
I think because they had made her such this small, like in the very like first like couple episodes, very like small, shy like little girl who got married to this big aggressive man who ended up being in love with her kind of, and then giving her all of these sort of things that helped her like along the way, like her dragons. If she probably wasn't going to marry Drogo, she probably wouldn't have gotten her dragons or like that fast or whatever. And then probably becoming slowly, like especially after season 5 is where she kind of changes. Like she loses Barristan, I believe, in that season as well. So she kind of loses the last sort of touch of what she thought was her family, and then she thinks, oh, okay, I can do pretty much whatever I want because I'm queen. And then when she comes to Dragonstone, she's kind of like, yeah, I can go across there and burn everything, and no one can say no because I am the queen and I can do whatever I want because it's my birthright. Like she kind of had limitations beforehand, but now she's literally maybe 50 miles from King's Landing, so she could go and burn it like in 5 seconds if she really wanted to.
Yeah. So what do you think Jon is thinking about that? Because Jon has to step really, really carefully to get what he wants, and right now, his focus is on getting the dragons. The only way to get dragons is to talk to their mama, and their mama is Dany, and she's a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So just a little bit. I mean, yeah, his aunt, yeah. So
And his
crazy maybe on the
on board.
Yeah. So she maybe crazy or not crazy, however you want to call her, but she's on this power trip, right? And he has to go really, really carefully or watch everything he does and he says, and which he does it. Like you say, Brida, in your video, he starts in strong. He goes in there. He's rejected, rightfully so. I mean, she doesn't know him. He doesn't know her. She could be like this crazy lady who will burn him before he says hello to her. So he has enough guts to go there. And she's gracious enough not to burn him alive, which is nice of her. But then he gets advice from Tyrion, right? He gets help. Willingly, or he either meant to give him good advice to help him out, or he just kind of was doing his thing and talking smart things, not knowing that Jon is going to use it against kind of Dany, I guess. Yeah. What are your thoughts about it? I mean, he's growing, like we said in the beginning, right? He's growing and developing.
Yeah, he's kind of like learned about how kind of he can, I guess, talk to her and be like kind of, I guess, flirty, but also but like kind of hold it back, like give her, like Brita mentioned, like the eyes in like 607 or whatever, where he's like, you're my queen and all of this stuff, and I'll bend the knee to you, and do all like the flirty things but not go too far into that, like. But yeah, like trying to, like, the subtle manipulation is pretty good so far.
All right, let's just go here. Let's just straight go here, as I want to get it off the table on everybody's opinion. Is Daenerys going to be pregnant?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
If they're going to fan service everybody, yes.
No.
I'm saying yes.
It's going to go.
Pure Hexa is the magical baby you speak of. Is there a magical baby in the? Is there a magical bun in the oven?
No.
Elamar, magical bun in the oven.
There is a magical bun.
Mackenzie.
Unwanted, but there is one.
Mackenzie, magical bun in the oven.
My head says no, but my show fan servicey logic says yes. As it's been told, like, they didn't mention it.
Before I saw Pure Hex's videos, what I would say is that Jon and Dany are both going to die, and Tyrion and Sansa are going to raise the last Targaryen. All right. So I've got another question for you guys. I think shit is going to hit the fan when Daenerys realizes she is not the heir to the Iron fucking Throne to begin with, because she has been so single-minded about this shit. And like Pure Hexa points out in her video, even when she does agree to help Jon or whatever, she still wants to parlay with Cersei, you know? And so let me ask y'all this. Could Dany's motives change and her single-mindedness to get the Iron Throne and all that and be the queen and all that if she falls in love with Jon and there is a magical baby, or even if there's not a magical baby?
No way. Absolutely not.
That
think
No.
so.
totally 180s her character.
That's
Nope.
always going to be set. She's power hungry, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
If
how
she
she
was
comes
to
off.
fall in love with Jon and like forget the throne, that's a complete like 180 from her first season after she loses Drogo. Kind of, it's like a 180. It's like, they really do that to her in her last season? Is to have her fall pregnant and then be like, oh, you're the king now? Okay, I'll step back and like have your child, and I'll sit there and let you like banter with everybody in Westeros. Like she wouldn't do that. No.
Elamar, is Daenerys going to fall in love and get her little or think she's going to get her little family and she's going to be like, oh, well, it's all good. We just
You
keep
know,
together.
I have to say that what I like about this show is that we see people saying what they want and then changing their mind. So she never, I don't think she ever mentioned she wants a family. I think she didn't mention anything in the beginning. Then she started mentioning that she wants the throne, and that's been on her mind. What if she realizes that she actually wants a family too? But what if Jon says, nope, honey, I'm not gonna be your guy, basically. What if she basically falls in love with him? Eventually, because he's a great character. I mean, why wouldn't she want to fall in love with him if she gets to know him? And then he may say, no, hun, like, no, you got it all wrong. So she may end up the one with being, broken heart.
Yeah, maybe she will force him to continue the Targaryen lineage. But of course he would never do that because he would always choose his real family, his dark family. And yeah, that would maybe that's part of why she will go mad, completely mad next season. But there's no way that her I'm only talking about her show character, that she will do a complete turnaround next season just because she's all of a sudden head over heels for Jon and forgets about everything she's worked for the last seasons and everything, her entire world,
Right.
Her entire worldview will completely break down next season, because everything she thinks she's got this great, she thinks everything she did, all the miracles that she performed mean that she is destined to rule the Seven Kingdoms, and everything she accomplished means that she has got this great destiny, that she is the last Targaryen. That's what her entire cult, this entire cult that she built around her personality is based on, that she is this special last Targaryen with this special destiny, and then that will completely break down next season. And I see no way how her character can make a sudden complete turnaround next season just because, for whatever reason, yeah, I don't see it at all.
There's a great comment here. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name. Awesome name. Anybody want to help me? It says TETRIZADDICTUZ. Not pronouncing it at all. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it. She said, it says here, yeah, she's going to fall in love. Then Jon will become the prophesized treason for love.
Yep.
I like that comment. Thank you.
Yeah, treason for love, either for the North or for somebody else, but it's coming. She doesn't know it yet, but it's coming.
So she falls in love with Jon Snow, maybe, possible. And the treason she knows for love, is it going to be Jon or is it going to be Tyrion?
I think it's Jon 100%.
I think Jon
completely different than one of those two.
Tyrion would be more for if he would betray her, it would be her trust, not love, because she trusts him. You don't have to trust somebody to love them. Your heart goes where it goes. Like, you have no. If you've ever loved anybody or fell in love with somebody,
but not like
there's no logic.
Who's experienced that? Like, I love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah,
I think
we're all old enough for that. So yeah,
I'm very well acquainted with that sentiment. So yes, I understand what you're saying. Like, I trust you, but I don't love you. I get it. I
think Tyrion could totally, I think Tyrion will betray her next season. I think he could totally betray her for love as well, for his love for his family, his love for Jaime.
That was always my first instinct with that. Of course, we know. So do you believe in prophecy?
Do we believe? Like, Goalie. So
who does believe in prophecy?
I just spoke about it, so I'm gonna wait until the end. But go ahead, guys. You say what you think. I'm gonna go last, if that's okay.
I'd say the prophecy more or less of treason, and then the baby thing about how if she does have a baby, it means she's gonna see Drogo again, which means death is coming for Daenerys, and she'll have like probably there's this weird thing in my head where it's like she'll have this scene where she has to either choose. She's dying, and she'll have to choose between either Jon and the throne or her life with Drogo and her son. So that's like the kind of end that I would think. And yeah, it's like prophecy on some end, not all of it, but yeah.
I don't really believe in. Yeah, I saw your stream, LMR.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's difficult with these prophecies. I think these prophecies are mostly self-fulfilling prophecies. I think Cersei's prophecy is pretty much a self-fulfilling prophecy because she pretty much caused everything by her actions pretty much, and Daenerys is also pretty much causing a lot of stuff by herself through her actions. And I think what I really love about this treason for love prophecy is that I think it's Jon also, and I think what I really love is that she's causing this betrayal herself, her betrayal for love, because Jon tried to, which is also why I made this video in a chronological order, because he keeps changing his tactics, and at some point he realizes that the only way to deal with her is to fake submission, and she mistakes this submission for love. And because she was constantly telling him to be submissive and to bend the knee, he was forced to do this, and she mistakes it for love. And he's doing it all for the North. And I think it's really poetic that in this way she causes her betrayal for love herself. It's very poetic.
Yeah, completely agree. Can I say something in the meantime? Jen, you mentioned my my blanket. Mm-hmm. Can I show it off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think you showed off yours
in the chat. And
let me show it. Let me show it to you guys. Oh, yeah. I can't hear you right now, but this is gorgeous, and this is actually a gift from Nancy T. And I just wanted to say thank you to you, Nancy. It is just simply amazing. It's warm, and it's huge and just beautiful. And this is the first Game of Thrones anything I got. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I don't have anything Game of Thrones. So this is going to be my throne. So thank you.
I love it too. And I copied LMR. I did.
You did.
I did it. I don't care. Okay.
Because this is usually leather. This is a leather chair, so I usually sit on a leather chair, and I'm kind of cold because I have a vent over here, and now I'm sick. So this is perfect. Thank you again. Gorgeous. I really appreciate it. I was actually tearing up when I got it. So thank you.
Oh shit! I had a thought and I've lost it. Jesus, no.
I'm sorry.
I remember. All right. Being from Louisiana, I do believe in stuff. I'm not gonna call it magic. I mean, maybe more like juju, like, I don't know, fucking fate, karma. I don't know, burning candles on folks. It's just real. But I just want to say this. If you're down in Jackson Square in front of St. Louis Cathedral and you pay somebody $10 to read your tarot cards, I mean, shit, you can really kind of trick yourself into thinking this person got but it's actually, some people just have very good read techniques, like, obviously, you look at things about people and you pick things out about them. And I think a lot of Cersei's shit was what they would call psychosomatic. Like, she believed that she was cursed and lived her life in fear of this, and therefore really brought the shit on herself. But I mean, if I was upset with somebody and I wanted to do some evil shit, like, would I do that? No, because it comes back on you 3 times, and like terrible. And I believe that. I really do. So, I don't know. There's a difference between luck and fortuna. And we ain't going to get into Machiavelli here, not today. All right, so let's go on to something else. Unless anybody else has something they'd like to say on that whole point.
I just have it's probably not on that point, but as you know, I listen to to different questions, and I got a question here for Patrick Cudmore, if I can read it. Is it okay?
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah. So
Hi, Patrick.
I haven't. Yes, actually, not in the chat. I don't. It's not in the chat. It's I got it. I think it's Twitter. I don't even know what it is. I think Twitter. Okay. So if I can read it, so it says, Jon will be conflicted. He will be so pissed about the Tarly burning, but still needs her considerable help, and his relationship may suffer for a bit with Sam until he can accomplish the full alliance. Dany is a classic so-called savior to corrupted antagonists, and the whole Targaryen heir question will bring out her full madness and tragic end. I agree to it. To everything, just to the tragic end. I'm still rooting for her to go not completely crazy. I mean, I see her as going crazy, but then kind of seeing, let's say, even if she has to see it before she dies, I'm still hoping she will see the madness and kind of at least acknowledge it. So she may go crazy, but I'm hoping for her to see what she's doing.
She may go crazy even with added hormones of incest baby, if we're believed to have the child inside. So, and then people can be like, oh, she can blame her angry, mad, psycho tendencies on
and that's
her
a good question too. Yeah, how do Targaryen women go with pregnancy and hormones? Wow, that's the awesome one, Mackenzie.
As well as everybody says that she's going to be pregnant, but it doesn't 100% mean that she's going to have a living baby at the end.
True.
Because she was pregnant with Drogo's child, and even though it was blood magic and all of that stuff, it was like a lizard-like or like a dragon, so it doesn't 100% mean that when and if she gives birth, it's just like they're going to show us this massive like little baby that's like Jon's going to tear over. It's going to be like, especially if it's like how it was described with Miriam's story, maybe like, what did I do all those months ago? So.
Yeah.
All right, who thinks Dany's going to die? I think she's going to die in childbirth. I think that...
No.
What do you think, Breda?
Hey, Breda.
No.
You don't want her to die?
What do you think?
I think she will die, but
that
would be the lamest death for her character ever. Seriously, do you really want to Daenerys Targaryen, who we have known for 7?
What I want.
But what's happening?
Yeah, I think I'm promoting the Jaime will kill Daenerys theory here again at this point, because that makes the most sense at the moment for me, and it would be so poetic.
As well, like, if she is to die in quote-unquote childbirth, she can still be killed by Jaime, especially if
Yeah.
she ends up
I
going
don't-
into labor on the battlefield or something, and
Yeah.
the only way for her to die, because she doesn't know how she can die, like, afterwards, is to maybe be killed by Jaime. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. I don't think Daenerys is cursed, really. I think she's simply so inbred that she simply can't have any proper, any healthy children. I'll apologize to the magical baby. I'm sorry, but
Well,
yeah,
the one you
I think
shared.
she's simply not. She's so inbred that any child she could potentially have will be a sorry again, a complete
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard
monster.
to think that when it was also easy to back up by logic when they're over like 60% share of DNA. So
I mean,
Wow.
all you have to do is look at the last Tsar of Russia's son, Nicola Alexei, who had hemophilia so bad he could barely fall down. It doesn't even have to be a physical deformity, like they said of her first child. It could just be childhood mortality, which is extreme in this world. Of course, we know that doesn't really mean anything. Logic doesn't necessarily come into it, though, does it?
throws out the window. Yeah, throw logic out the window. Like 706 was kind of like throwing logic out the window in terms of timing and everything. As we know, it takes a month by horseback to go from King's Landing up to the wall, up to Winterfell. So I don't know if dragons can fast fire than a month, but clearly they do, because it only takes, 2 hours?
But look now, Furehex, I want to hear more from you, because you're saying there ain't no baby, period.
You know, I was thinking if that, we have to take everything into consideration, right? Every possible scenario.
And that's why I want to hear why because you're like, you're pretty, you're like, no, I mean, you're not wavering. You're like, no, there's no baby.
Because pretty much the only reason pretty much why people are thinking this is because of the comment that Jon made in the Dragon Pit, right? That's pretty much the only reason, right? Why people think this?
Sorry, what?
And I think
Jon said maybe you can't have children.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason why people are so convinced about this, right? And I think he had ulterior motives. I think he had ulterior motives for saying this.
Who saying what? For saying what? I'm sorry.
He said at the Dragon Pit, Daenerys said to him that she can't have children, and he said to her, "Yeah, maybe the witch, wasn't really that reliable of a source," and that's why everyone is thinking that she will have a baby, and I think he absolutely had his reasons why he was saying this, and but what I was going to say, if the magical baby happens, I'm wondering, I'm always wondering what's the purpose of this baby really, and the only thing it would make any sense. The only reason why it would make any sense to me is because we know that Catelyn Stark was hating on Jon because Jon was a living reminder of Ned Stark's unfaithfulness to her, and the magical baby would kind of correct this source because if the magical baby happens and Daenerys dies and the baby gets raised by, as everyone is thinking, by Sansa or something, then Sansa will, every time she looks at this baby, she will be reminded of how Jon was willing to sacrifice everything for the greater good at the end, and how he was basically willing to shed his entire dignity and honor, because he was even willing to take the risk to father a bastard for the greater good. So this baby would be a constant reminder of Jon's heroic deeds.
Look at my figs, y'all.
emojis.
Yeah.
Aren't they beautiful? Yeah, that's a very good point. That's actually a very good point. And I know everybody says, oh, well, there's just no way that, the story could maybe go this way where, it's not going to be Jon and Dany, and Jon is actually, doing all this basically just to ingratiate himself with her, however you want to put it. If she doesn't get pregnant, it'd be a good way, probably the only way, to just kind of wrap that up. But you explained it where it could go the other way pretty well. So, does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up?
The Tyrion and Sansa thing. In terms of her, everybody mentions that, oh, Tyrion and Sansa are gonna get together and all of this other stuff. If she does end up back with Tyrion, it kind of takes her back to when she was the little girl that everybody hated and everybody still kind of hates. So for her to go back to him, it's kind of just like, oh, the entire her season 7 of her standing up for herself and growing back into her own again kind of just falls back. As well as a question for everybody. If you take out, the blood relations of both sides of both, because we're both talking about Jon and whatever, if you take out the blood relation of Jon and Dany and Jon and Sansa in the show, evidence only, which side seems more romantic, and what kind of way, in the kind of way that they were together the most amount of time? Because it seems like they were together the most amount of time equally, just sped up for Jon and Daenerys.
So yeah, that's a question for the chat too. I'm wondering what they're gonna type in here.
Because it's like,
And
it's an interesting thing to look at it. It's like if you take out what they actually are to each other, if they were completely different people, how would each side kind of think that, I guess? Like, is it actually, who looks like they are more, like, who does he look like he's more in love with, kind of like, if you take it out?
well, for me, I'm just gonna say this way. I'm not gonna ship him with anybody right now on this stream. However, when I saw, and those who are Dany and Jon, what do you call it? Shippers? I don't even know how to call that.
Yeah, they just support the relationship.
Yeah. On that boat. Are you reading this comment section, Jen?
No.
Because if you because you would be cracking up.
That's some young talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that's why I'm so bad at it.
Pure Hexa knows more about that though, but like, I know what it means or whatever, but I just don't say that.
I don't say it either. That's why it sounded so weird when I'm like, am I even saying it correctly? But so what I wanted to say is, when everybody, and I'm saying everybody in general terms, wanted to see Dany and Jon on that boat. They wanted to see. I don't care if they said, I don't want to see them. You wanted to see them. Don't give me that. Everybody wanted to see that for different reasons. That's fine. But I was disappointed at it. I'm sorry. I love him. I love myself some good scenes. I do. Don't get me wrong. That scene didn't do anything for me. And nothing. There's nothing. I was just thinking like, why is she like that? What is she doing? Why is he looking at her like that? Why are they looking at each other like that? This is creepy. I'm sorry. I did not buy it. I didn't.
Especially after they hype it up for what?
Yes,
7 seasons about this epic scene that they're gonna have.
Yeah, Ygritte and Jon. Whoa, like completely yes. That was something for me. Jon and Dany, it was a little bit awkward. But then I thought about it after. I'm thinking, okay, what is his plan? And that's what I started thinking about. Like, okay, that dude, before he knocked on that door, before he did this, he looked like he had like a bucket of wine. Like he chugged a bucket of wine before knocking on that door. He looked miserable. I don't know. So that didn't do it for me. I'm sorry. So I'm not shipping them. There may be something. If in fact, if they're supposed to be together, if they were supposed to be portraying that love and attraction, they missed it for me. That I did not see I'm not saying he's unattracted to her. I mean, she's gorgeous and he's gorgeous, so they're all gorgeous. But I didn't see that chemistry. And if there was supposed to be chemistry, I missed it. I missed something because there was nothing for me. What about you? After I got all this stuff, what are your things?
For 1 second, I may have to.
Mhm.
I have to leave now.
Oh, you gotta go?
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. I thought.
Okay.
I thought I had to go, but no, I don't.
Okay. Okay. So, what are your thoughts about them? Like history.
The chat? What the chat thinking?
What you're thinking?
What you're thinking? What are you ladies thinking? And I'll check the chat because I had this long, drawn-out answer.
I get what you're saying. I do. I don't think that sex scene was anything, you know, that conveyed serious passion, but I want to chalk it up to maybe awkwardness of them having to do the scene because Jon did effer and he hadn't, you know, he hadn't effed a bunch of people, and we know really he you know, I don't know. I mean, let me just say this: if it's not him really just wanting to get down with her, definitely 100% he's the Jon. I mean,
He did what? I didn't hear the ending part.
Opposite way with that though, because where I do think that he and Sansa suit more, I think they have the same goals. I think just their whole operation, their modus operandi, I think it's so similar. I think they would be, you know, really a power couple, like great. I really, and that's what I would rather see, but I don't think we have enough time in the show, number one. But that didn't even come into my decision on this. He does have sex with her, and it's just, you know, I mean, and not only does he do it, I mean, he seeks her out to do it. You know, it's not like they were, you know, just so happened to be in a cave that had probably the only place you can take a decent
but wasn't there somebody, I think somewhere said that in the original script she was the one who called him, but it was just never mentioned.
Yep.
She was the one who summoned him. She summoned him.
Goes around. That's pure Hexa, who goes around looking at every single thing. You know, I just can't. Yeah.
No, it's true. She was in the original script. She was the one who summoned him, because it makes sense. Because you can't just show up at the door of a queen like this. Because, you know, remember when she said
that's true. If that's true, then I think he loves Sansa more than he loves Dany. I'll put it that.
I think this scene, this sex scene, worked perfectly for what they wanted to tell with it, because the scene was completely about the parentage reveal and about drama set up for next season. It wasn't about these two people. It was about what's going to come next season, and it was also about, you know, Jon obviously having to completely get her on his side. And also before he was knocking on her door, you could see that the lighting in the scene, you could see that his eyes were in the shadows. You couldn't see his eyes. And that's a film. They do that in it's a film technique that shows that the person has maybe some darker motives. I think it really worked perfectly for what they wanted to show with the scene, and it once again showed that context is everything, really.
There's a comment here. I want to say it because it's laughing. I almost bursted out laughing here. Oh my god! Let me find it. Okay. Who made me giggle? It's so hard to make me giggle. Okay, Johnny be crazy. He says Tyrion told Jon, "You better do it right, or she will burn us all." Oh my god!
I don't think this is so far away from the truth.
I know. I'm just saying, like, oh my god, Johnny, you made me laugh. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a big accomplishment.
But yeah, related to this, we have to talk about Tyrion's role in this as well.
Okay, yeah, good point.
Because this theory, there are so many people involved, and it's not just Jon, especially Tyrion. As you know, I think that my theory is that Tyrion and Jon might already be in this together. That's my personal theory. There are others that think that Tyrion is suspicious of Jon, and that Tyrion doesn't think that Jon's growing power over Daenerys is a positive thing. What do you guys think? I'm still not really sure where to put Tyrion into all of this and what his motives are. I definitely think that Tyrion is in complete denial about Daenerys. I think he's losing his faith in her more and more, but he doesn't want to admit it yet. What do you guys think? What role does Tyrion play in all of this?
I agree with what you just said about Tyrion is backing her, and he bought into the hype, basically. Like, he wanted to believe, like, she all wants to do this good, all this, but he's starting to see, she doesn't, just like they talk about, she doesn't listen to, she's a loose cannon. She doesn't listen to anybody, and that can't, spontaneity can be good occasionally, very occasionally. But Tyrion, okay, and me and Russell argue over this, the monster I created. We were just arguing over the other day. He thought and I got so pissed off, and I'm like, no, that's not it at all. Get away from me. Quit saying that shit. He said that Tyrion was jealous when he saw Jon go in the room, and I'm like, no, he was worried. He's worried this shit ain't gonna work out.
That was the worry look.
Blow the fuck up.
Yep. He's like, don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Completely agree with you, Jen. Completely. Yeah. That's what I was thinking at first. Everybody said, "Oh, he's jealous." No, he's not jealous. I'm sure he would like to get some. I got him. I know what he means. But he's not thinking about that right now, I don't think. At least that's the second thing on his mind. He wants to make sure Jon does his thing. Dany has to get what she wants, and apparently she wanted that, and he better do a good job to play, not just in bedroom, but to play the whole thing, to play it out, because it's not a journey one night. They're gonna be stuck on that boat for a long time. He has to find the inner whatever Jon and himself, and play it out for her for as long as it takes. Yep.
Yeah, he better smack that, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is what she's used to. She's used to being treated like a queen that she is in a way. So he better do a good job, and not just
an appearance.
No, don't.
Yeah.
He was not jealous.
He wanted that booty.
Whatever. No. Get the hell out of here. Y'all, that's Russell. Some of y'all know.
He could be jealous, but
say hi, Russell. Say hi to Russell from all of us. I don't know if he can hear us. Say hi to him.
Elamar, Fjord Hexa, Mackenzie said, hey, now go on. He was not jealous.
No, I mean, he was jealous because Jon was getting some and Tyrion wasn't. Yeah. So who wouldn't be jealous? I mean, come on, he's on a boat and there's no other females around that are attractive. And like, how long? Like, what, 30 days? Like, who would not go crazy over there for that long, knowing what's happening in next door? So completely get him, but no, he's more concerned about the treaty. Not you know what I mean, like the politics of it.
We're all talking about Tyrion, but what about Jorah? And like when Jorah finds out that Jon not only has his family sword, but now he has the one woman that he's always wanted. Again.
Poor guy. I feel sorry. He needs to find somebody. Yeah. But I think he already gave up, didn't he? When he was giving the sword to Jon, or not giving, like refusing to take the sword. It was like refusing to take Dany.
It's almost like, yeah, it could be seen like that way.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, you're the last probably person that'll have to be like, screw you over, so I might as well just give you everything, I guess, that I have.
I took it like that. I took the sword thing as, no, you keep it, like you got it. It's you. He had, plus Jorah had so many chances, and if she really wanted him that way, she would at least give him some sex or pity sex or whatever you call it. I don't know. Why not? They're friends, right? Very close friends.
Yeah.
But she didn't, so I don't think he's ever getting it from her. And he knows it.
I think Jorah will be the last person that she will have left at the end who will stay loyal to her. And I think she will realize in her very last moment, she will realize, the classic, in her very last moment, she will realize that she loved him all along and how much he did for her. And she will realize that when it's too late.
No, Greta, you taking it too far now, I think.
No.
I think I think she loves him, but you can love somebody and not be in love with them.
Yeah.
I think so.
Exactly.
That little spark, because you can I can see loving somebody, but with that little tiny spark is gone, let's say for that intimate relationship. Like, you may love them, you may do everything for them, like you will die for them, you will give your life, you will give everything, but there's that little, the difference between friendship and attraction, like physical attraction, is that you have to have that little tiny spark at least. When that spark is off, like then that's not friendship only. Excuse me. And I think Dany doesn't have that little tiny spark for him. That's the little thing that's missing. That's all.
I agree.
I mean, I'm sure like there are marriages that are arranged that people learn to be friends along the time, as the time passes, and it may turn into that little tiny spark, but just having an intimate relationship with somebody just because you're very good friends with them only, and that would be just pity. That would not be fair, because to do it, to fake it for them, I don't think she would do that unless, and I don't think he would want her to do that. So I just don't see that happening.
But going back to Tyrion for a moment, what is that? What deal did he make with Cersei at the end? It must be something very, very, very controversial, because otherwise they would have shown that scene, but they kept it a secret. And all of a sudden, Cersei pledges her forces to the north. For what reason? Why does Tyrion trust her? Why does anyone trust her? Why is Daenerys stupid enough to trust her? And what did Tyrion must have promised her something? And there's this theory that Tyrion might have promised to get her Sansa. And I love that theory. What is that? What was that deal? That secret deal at the end?
There's like, I guess, two sides. It's like, obviously it's like the magical, like, because the whole thing of like, if there is a potential of anything with this, when you die, nothing happens to them, or they'll die and you can still be queen or whatever. Like, kind of not wishing both of them to die, but they'll be like, Tyrion's probably like, yeah, they will both survive, so you can still sit there and do whatever you want, maybe.
So, okay, so wait, so you think that he basically told her, you need to just sit back and see how this plays out to begin with?
Yep. In terms of like, because she can be like, okay, then I can pledge my things.
Well, she had said that herself. She had said that herself, that if it was.
There's probably also something else like added in there, probably
she had lied or whatever. But I agree. I can't believe that they ever thought to trust Cersei. I mean, she's not trustworthy.
As well, probably with the how Baelish had told Cersei, I believe in season 5, after he brings Sansa to the Bolton, he says, "I will not stop until the lion flies over the gates of Winterfell," or whatever. So it could very well be that he does promise that that the Lannisters will have hold over Winterfell, either them having a marriage again or something of the like. So
Yeah, I hope it's something very, very shady, because I think Tyrion is so he's so good at the moment and so good-hearted, and I really want him to do something pretty bad and
Drastic.
controversial again. Yeah.
So what my thoughts on it are, what did Tyrion say? I think he said it while talking to Cersei, right? Or at some point, that family, that those are not their words, right? Their families, they have different family. Yeah, but I think he's very much for family, his family, and he considers Cersei and all her spawn, I guess at this moment, her children, family, and he would do anything and everything for them, even if it were to be, you know, say something, or mess Danny up at some point, just to make sure that there are no more casualties on his family side. I see him as maybe not telling the truth. I don't know, lying, because she never asked. We don't know. Maybe Danny never asked him what happened, and he decided not to tell her. Maybe it was never brought up, and he didn't lie. But again, that's the whole thing. If you don't tell the truth versus you lie, is it the same thing? If you don't say anything versus you lie about something, if it's the same weight, yeah. So there is something, but it's for his family, meaning Lannisters.
Camp Danny is keeping a lot of secrets. That's all. We gotta think about that. Yeah, they're keeping a lot of secrets from each other, if anything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or playing face, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you guys, it's kind of getting late here in the. I know. What time is it there, Brita?
It's 11 in the evening.
11. It's getting to be 4 here. We've gone for about 2 hours. So, do you guys want to like reconvene next week?
I'm all for it.
Yep.
If ladies have time.
Yeah, I think I should be able to. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 Central, and we'll talk some more. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much, Brita. It's always a pleasure. Y'all, that's Fewer Hexa on YouTube. Let's see if we can't get her 102 subs, and then she will be at 1,000, because her content is really well done and well thought out. And if you make videos, you know how hard they are to make. So they're very good. So please, if you listen to this, go ahead and just sub to her channel. I mean, you can be subbed to as many people as possible. And with that, I am Jennifer Wolverton. This is the Lady Wolverton's Den. We have regular book club on Thursday night, 8 Central. The next chapter is, what chapter are we on? We're on chapter 38. I think it's a Tyrion chapter.
I think it is Tyrion.
Tyrion, yeah.
I don't remember the number. Okay.
Yeah.
39 audio book, 38 a Game of Thrones. Tyrion, I don't remember the number. I'm wanting to say 4, but don't quote me. And just, this was Mackenzie's first time. So we want to thank her so much. She did a great job. And I want to thank Elamar and Fewer Hexa. Elamar has a channel. She's doing Westworld with Johnny Be Crazy Monday nights. It's very good, especially if you're a little bit lost about Westworld, which I certainly am. I mean, I watch it, but what the fuck? Anyway,
and we're usually very good at explaining that with the F part. So
right.
And coming from Johnny's theories, and he has some crazy theories, which I adore completely. I love his theories. And my approach to it, I think we're having fun over there on Mondays. So if you're into Westworld, please join us then. Yeah.
Mackenzie.
Oh, I just wanted to thank you guys for like having me on and
absolutely
all my opinions and kind of going off when I went off on like a random side tangent, but
That's okay. That's what all this stuff is random side tangents, you know. The average person isn't sitting on their toilet thinking about did more than one person poison Joffrey at the wedding feast, for goodness sake. All
Oh my
right.
gosh. No, that's a good explanation, Jen. Exactly. Plus, your chats, I always bring it up, but your chats are so fun. We're people who hang out. And by the way, chat, thank you to everybody for joining us. You're spending your Sunday with us, so you gave us your 2 hours, and time is priceless. So I really appreciate all of you being here and chatting away. Today I did a little bit of a better job, I think, in the chat. Maybe if I didn't mention somebody, it's because I mentioned you in my head and I thanked you in the chat, but I kind of maybe didn't speak up. But again, Jen is very much into interacting on her channel, which is awesome because smaller channels enable that to happen, and it's the friendliest place you can ever find. So tell everybody about it. Hopefully they will join us and join this crazy happy fun.
Also, we have to hope Justin Thomas show a speedy recovery from what happened yesterday. If not,
Yes.
Bangers, it's in Bangers, I
Yeah.
believe, what actually happened to him.
Yeah.
But, and isn't he
Everything is fine, it looks like, but he's one tough guy, so I'm looking forward to catching his chat today too.
Yeah.
I think before and after Westworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Hey, Spots. Spots just said that they are subscribed to LMR and looking forward to the Westworld.
Oh yeah, I just noticed. Thank you.
Very
Yeah,
good.
we're having fun over there. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Führer Hexa from Germany. Tell everybody about all your stuff and, you know, where to find you. I mean, everything.
Yeah, you can find me, of course, on YouTube, Feuerhexe, where I, like I said, I mainly did reaction videos for Game of Thrones and also a little bit of Vikings. But unfortunately, all my Vikings videos were blocked because of copyright stuff. It's very annoying, and I did as you know, two theory videos now, and you can also find me on Twitter, of course. Just go to the YouTube channel page, to the channel information, and you can find a Twitter link. I'm mostly on Twitter, really. Thank you, and thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to talk about these theories that are not discussed everywhere on YouTube these days, and that are not getting discussed in every second YouTube video, and that are maybe a little more controversial than the average magical baby, blah, blah, blah stuff. Yeah, thank you very much for being one of the brave YouTubers out here who are not afraid to speak their opinion. And yeah, thank you so much. And I really like LMR said, I love that you interact with people, you bring in the chat, and it's so comfortable with you. And thank you so very much. And I'm so happy I got to know everyone, each one of you.
No, thank you. And we have got to get this lady to the con next year, you guys. Oh my gosh. But yes, everybody. Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say again. I'm so sorry.
But speaking of con, while you get your thoughts again, thank you for the blanket. Thank you for the blanket, Nancy. I'm loving it.
Mine as well. We both have them on. I took LMR's idea.
My own throne.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh shit. Anyway, y'all. On YouTube, she just has amazing videos. There's a link in the description. It'll take you straight to her channel. Her reaction videos. Führer Hexa, I gotta ask you. Vikings, is Lagertha gonna die?
No.
Okay, no. Thank you. That's the answer I wanted. Shit, I love Lagertha. Oh my god, I might be like on some haterade. If Lagertha dies, I might be one of these people who's like, fuck it, I ain't watching that show no more.
She looked really broken. Yeah. She looked so broken at the end, and I love that show. But I think family will pull for. I mean, she has a huge family. I think she will pull out from all that craziness. Her mind will be like separate. But but she looks really broken at the end. Like she just loses all her fire. I'm hoping she's gonna get up and do her thing, what she does.
Oh,
For those who don't know what we're talking about, it's Vikings.
And I love that when she looks at Jonathan and Rhys Myers, and she is fucking serious, and she's like, "I think I might die this day." I mean, no, man, she means it. She means it. Oh God, and it's not too many times I've had that feeling. Maybe like twice.
So when is it coming out? Anybody knows when is it coming out? The next
in the
season?
fall, maybe.
So we're gonna have lots. We're gonna have Doctor Who, which I love, and we're gonna have that. Yay! Good fall.
I remember that's what I wanted to talk about after everybody did their out. Like everybody's Westworld. I love a serious, twisty show, but I also love Handmaid's Tale on Wednesday on Hulu. I love fucking Animal Kingdom on TNT Tuesday night. Oh man. Yeah, I get into that too. Okay, so there's other stuff that I watch as well. Oh gosh. And I want everybody to say too, what's the best movie I've seen lately? Let me think. Shit.
I don't even remember. Like, you mean the question for the chat?
It's been a minute since I've seen a really, great movie. I don't have to think on that.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but the other shows I watch right now, Animal Kingdom and Handmaid's Tale, definitely. What about you, Mackenzie? What are you watching right now?
Handmaid's Tale, and it comes on an actual TV channel in Canada.
Cool.
What's another one? I watch, a lot of the shows that I watch, they're off season right now. Like kind of like teens kind of stuff, because I sort of want to relate still, as well as like the stupid trashy TV shows like Southern Charm and all.
I love that show. Oh my God. Are you talking about the one with the original one?
Yeah,
the one with like the politician. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that is such a trashy show, but like reality TV show. I do watch that show. Because it very much reminds me of politics in Mississippi. It certainly does. It certainly is that. Oh yes, indeed. All right. What are you watching right now, LMR? We know Westworld.
Actually, I limited myself to watching just Westworld because I'm so crazy busy, and my husband asked me like, "Hey, are you writing that second book?" I'm like, "Yeah, kinda." So sure, don't check on that yet. So I need to concentrate more on that because the ideas are coming and they're yelling at me, and I'm kind of like, just shh, be quiet. I'm watching TV. I don't want to write now. But yeah, so I'm only sticking to Westworld. After that, I'm going to take a break from stuff and stick to Doctor Who when it comes out. And then apparently Vikings, thank you. But in the meantime, I'm going to be writing.
Probably in the fall it would come back.
Yeah, so no, I'll be doing that stuff on Doctor Who. But in the meantime, after Westworld ends, by the way, Jen, we're going to have you on my channel doing Westworld. I hope you will not bail out on us, on me and Johnny.
I won't, but I'm behind right now. I am.
Oh no, we're gonna start from the beginning. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do the beginning. After this is done,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, at Westworld, man. I mean,
it is.
That's a crazy show right there.
It is. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So nothing right now. I'm not watching anything right now. I'm just kind of doing the Westworld and the book, and that's it.
I understand. And Westworld's a lot. Westworld's a lot. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. What about you, Pure Hexa? What are you watching right now?
Oh, I'm pretty boring. I just finished watching Fear the Walking Dead. If you know that one.
Watch that. Yeah, no, I watch it.
It's very good. It's very good. I really love it. And I'm hearing Westworld everywhere. And yes, I will watch it. I decided now, but I haven't started yet. And I have so many shows on my list. And I really have to watch The Last Kingdom as well.
I watched
because
that. I watched The Last Kingdom.
That was great too. I loved it.
Yeah.
I think if you're into Viking history, then that's really the kind of show for you as well.
It's a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different. It's not as dark, I think, because Viking always reminds me like in monocolor, or what do you call it? Like really black and white and a lot of gray. where the other one is more. It's a different approach, but also very good. It's a good fix. I think I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Sorry if we bored you. Have a great week.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you,
you.
chat.
Thanks.